Hello, it's October 2023. We're talking about the local San Luis Obispo market. Should you be spooked? Well, good morning and welcome to our October 2023 San Luis Obispo County Market Update. You know, we always love getting ready for these productions because we want to try to bring things that are of value to the public, and we get great responses for that. So we always appreciate all your feedback, and thanks for sharing with us. So we're going to talk about what's happening in our marketplace, the numbers a little bit. I want to talk to people about what buyers want and what we're seeing in today's marketplace. And then we're going to talk about three words that we hear a lot in real estate, and maybe three more, but they're location, location, and location. So let's look at our market statistics. Again, very similar. The basic trend is we've got a few less homes for sale this time this year than a year ago, about 10%. And do remember, last month I talked about going back just pre-COVID, and we have virtually like a third of the homes we had in that regular normal market. So inventory is down. Pendings and solds also down versus a year ago. And then the new homes on the market still low. Okay, so let's talk about that real quick. We had 116 new homes come up for sale, yet we had over 170 close. Okay, so we are still seeing that inventory going to be shrinking as we move forward. Okay, but there's a little bit more to the market stats than that. Month over month, we had a few more homes than we did last month, and that's really not that common for this time of year. This time of year is usually a low inventory month. So what do we make of all this information? Well, first of all, again, this record low inventory is affecting the market. However, what we're seeing day to day, more recently, is that when we have well-priced homes where maybe a year and a half ago we could have had 10, 15, or 20 offers, maybe 3 or 4 months ago we might have had 3 or 4 offers. Now for a really great property in a really good location, we might just get 1 or 2, and we're not getting the same jumps in price and the same competitive bidding. It's a little bit of competition, but not much. So that just tells me that the demand, the depth of the market of the buyer pool is starting to shrink a little bit. So even though rates have gone up quite a bit, market's been very resilient, we may see a balancing of the marketplace, which we haven't seen for some time. Now, what does that mean? Usually a balanced market, meaning buyers and sellers are a little bit more on an even footing, is really good for the real estate market. It's healthy. All right, so what are people looking for? Okay, we're having two competing factions we're noticing here in the marketplace. So we look at houses and condos between like 600,000 and 1.2 million. We look at single level homes, okay, and reasonably good condition, and that is the sweet spot where most of our activity is. And here's what we're seeing. We're seeing two groups fighting. We're seeing our millennials, which I had to write it down. Those are 27 to 42-year-olds, so that group of people really in that marketplace. And we're seeing baby boomers kind of going from maybe larger homes to smaller single-level homes. So those two giant groups of people are converging and liking and paying a lot of money and paying a lot of attention to those types of properties. That's where we're seeing the most activity, the most multiple offers. And that kind of leads me to what I tell a buyer in today's environment, because it's gotten tricky. I mean, let's face it, 7% is more challenging than 3% if you're a buyer, a first-time buyer, or even moving one loan to another from one property to another. So location, location, location. We talked about that recently in our podcast. San Luis Obispo has so many things going for it. And we are a very valuable product if you think of a place to live. And then we've got a university here that draws tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people on a regular basis through the community to give it the exposure. So this has been a phenomenal place to be an owner of real estate, okay? So it's challenging to purchase here, but let me talk about 3 words a friend of mine just shared with me. Confidence, 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 meaning to buy a house in any time. Those of you that are homeowners, when you think of buying that first house or maybe stretching that second house, it took a little bit of leap of faith. It took some confidence. Yet once you got in, were you happy you did? Yes. Once you stayed there a while, were you happy you did? Yes. If you were a home buyer in the last 50 years in this county, were you happy you're a home buyer, homeowner, or property owner? Yes. If you had the choice of being a buyer or renter in the last 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, would you rather be someone who's renting or someone who's owning? Okay. Now, is that for everybody? No. But for those people that are on the fence, you got to have a little confidence knowing that if you can afford this, You can't see that the income you're going to make is going to be higher. You can't see down the road that, you know what, once you get settled in a house, it takes so much worry. You can't see the fact that you're living in a place you want. And it's hard to see that, wow, can rents go any higher? So my comment and my thought for those of you that are on that fence, have a little bit of confidence, get with somebody who knows what's happening in the marketplace, make the right decision. Real estate is a great place to be. Thanks so much for all your referrals and have a great day.